Okay, now we'll do our measures of variation. We'll start by calculating a standard deviation, the same way we calculated the mean, the median, and the mode. We come into here to the statistical menu and come down here to STDEV. But oh no, they have a dot P, a dot S, the A, the PA. There are 4 standard deviations to choose from. I would like you to pick the standard deviation of a sample, dot S. We generally never have the population. It's very rare to use a standard deviation for a population. And this A and then PA are for economists and accountants, and we don't use those in science or social science. So choose standard deviation of a sample. Okay, and I'm going to highlight from cell B3 to cell B22, just my data. I don't want to get the mean, median, and mode in there because they'll change the standard deviation. Okay, here it is. It's 14.14. Remember, I can drag this along and get a standard deviation for every column. I don't really need this one, and I don't really need this one. Okay, so these are my standard deviations, and notice how high the standard deviations are for my full day kindergarten children. That tells me that I have a lot of variation in those children, both coming in and at the end of the year. And that might make sense. There are smaller standard deviations here with my homeschoolers. They tend to be a little bit more uniform in how their test scores come out. Now, we don't report the variance. The variance is a very important part of calculating the standard deviation because the standard deviation is the square root of the variance, but we don't report it. If you can imagine, the standard deviation is in the same unit as whatever you're taking the mean of. So if it's inches, standard deviation is in inches, but variation is in inches squared, which doesn't make sense for our data. Okay, we do, however, like to report the range, and unfortunately, Excel does not have a range function. So what I do is I come in here to my statistical menu again, and I'm going to choose the max, which is the maximum number in this data set right here. And Excel will give me my max, so I'll go ahead and drag that along. And then next, I'm going to ask Excel to give me my min. So in here again, we have min, just plain old min. We don't want the min A, which is what the economists use sometimes. Here's my min, and I'll drag this along. Now, the range is, uh-oh, I've got a problem. Do you see? I've definitely got a problem here. I let Excel go all the way to cell B27 and I only want to be at B22. And the reason I could tell that I have a problem is all of these numbers need to be whole numbers, right? Okay, there we go. Now my sheet has repopulated with the whole numbers. And my range now, I'm going to actually create my own formula. I'm going to type in the equal sign. My range is going to equal this cell. So when I click on this cell, it shows up in my formula bar minus this cell, the minimum. I'll hit enter, and there it is, it's 40. And you can eyeball these and just make sure they're right. Here we go, 33, 23. Now remember again, these are just the ID numbers of the children. I really don't want standard deviation or range on those. If you have a choice, standard deviation is a better way of reporting variation. However, when we use a median, it's often common to go ahead and report the range. The range is a fairly good measure of variation, and it goes with the median because once again, to get the median, we rank from highest to lowest, or we can rank from lowest to highest either way, which then is a natural way to calculate a range. But look how large these ranges are: 40, 39, 25, 34, 23, 33. Once again, though, where we had the largest standard deviation, we also have the largest range, and that's among our full day children. That's not a coincidence. Standard deviation and range tend to produce the same comparative results. Notice not the same numbers, but comparatively, the range is bigger with our full day, smaller with our homeschoolers. So that's how you can calculate standard deviation and range. Have fun with these.